Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 3 deadline stream. We are finally live properly. I didn't make my transfers last night. Cole Palmer fell in price. Do I kind of regret it a little bit? Yes. I'm still... The only kind of semi-good reason to have not made the move is I'm still a little bit... Sorry, to have not gone early to catch the price rise. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do. Which is not ideal. I wish I had like a definite, this is what I'm doing, and just get it done. It'd be so much simpler. Yeah, I don't know. Strand Larson is just so frustrating. So frustrating. Blanks the first two, scores twice midweek. Now he's not going to play against Everton at home. He might be at Newcastle in game week 4, in which case he's definitely not as good an option as well. So like, I could sell him. I could sell him instead of Guiu, but then when do I bench boost? I'm just in a bit of a mess now for excuse me, when to bench boost. Like maybe I just leave the bench boost till I wildcard a lot later on and just forget about it in game week 5 and just get rid of Strand Larson right now. But that means I've also got to play Dewsbury Hall quite often. I do like Dewsbury Hall as an enabler, but I don't really like him any more than that, I don't think. So I really don't know. I really do not know what I'm going to do. I think Sarah Mateta's probably... Yorkeresh is just on my mind. That's why he's on the thumbnail. I realise I'm rambling a lot at the start of this stream. If you look at Rob T's numbers, by the way, for Game Week 3, good old Rob T, Yorkeresh is like 0.43 projected goals this week against Liverpool away. To put that into perspective, Mateta is 0.33 away to Villa. Like Yorkeresh is projected more goals away to Liverpool than Salah is home to Arsenal. Absolutely crazy. You need to wildcard that. There is zero. I hate every wildcard draft I've seen. I just think it's not very good. There's no way I'm going to wildcard. It's such a bad week to wildcard because, in my opinion, if you've done it, fair enough, and you'll probably score more points than me. What do I know anyway? But you're wildcarding in a week where Man United have got Burnley, so you kind of want some players, but how many do you want longer term? Probably not many. You've also got Liverpool against Arsenal. You're definitely going to want Liverpool players next week, but what's the point in wildcarding them in this week against Arsenal? And, Arsenal not great this week, but they got Forest at home next week, and they've got a good fixture on from game week 7, so you're going to want them soon. So the idea that I'm going to wildcard without Liverpool and Arsenal makes no sense, but the idea of wildcarding with them also makes not a huge amount of sense. You'll survive. Yeah, you probably will survive without Man United players, but I've also already got Bruno, so there's less reason to want to wildcard him. I think wildcard's rubbish. I think it'll be much more useful later on. But we will see. Am I captaining a Man United? A defensive midfielder playing for a team that just lost to a League 2 side? Yes, I am. Yes, I don't tend to overreact like everyone else. I'm in a last man standing league. Less than half of the people remaining picked Man United this week, which I think is crazy. Like the overreactions are just so funny. I mean, there's plenty of other teams that could win this week, of course, like Forest versus West Ham, etc. But yeah, absolutely nuts. Like one loss, and then it's like whoa, whoa, whoa. Play for Bruggen, City at home or Dubravka, Man United away. Arguably Dubravka. Maybe he'll save Bruno for now. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Not after the Vardy stuff last season. Captain Haaland or Bruno? I think I would go Haaland over Bruno just for sanity reasons. Bench one of Thiago, Dango, Damsgaard, Rodgers or Sarr. I don't think you can bench any of the players playing Sunderland, so I'd probably bench Sarr, maybe. Which is weird because Sarr might bring in this week. Your mind was set on Sarr and Mateta. Surprised you held off the moves. Yeah, I know. It's because your crush is on my mind, honestly. Like, he's just... I just can't... I don't think I can bring him in before Liverpool away. That's what's really putting me off. If it was like Everton away this week and then exactly the same fixtures game week 4 onwards, I'd probably just buy him. It's the Liverpool thing that's playing on my mind. But he's... he's on. Like, we haven't had an Arsenal number 9 like this for a while. He's on penalties. His minutes are looking great right now. I'm not buying Chris Wood because he's got Arsenal away next week, which by the way is part of the reason I don't want to buy your Chris because he's got Liverpool away. Arsenal's fixtures are not good. I mean, Forest at home is not bad in game week 4. I don't mind that whatsoever. But yeah, City at home, Newcastle away. But I'll probably free hit in game week 6. I reckon. So the fact he's playing Newcastle away doesn't matter. So basically, if I bring him in, it'll be Liverpool away, Forest at home, City at home, and then game week 7, he's got great fixtures. And also, one other kind of, and this is where I'm a little bit conflicted, right? One other reason to go for Gyökeres is because it just saves a transfer down the line. We're all going to want him game week 7 onwards. If he's still playing regular minutes, he's on penalties, which he will be. We're all going to want him in game week 7, so it just puts off a transfer later on. But also, I feel like I get sucked into that too much, buying a player now for fixtures down the line. You don't get points in between. It's just super frustrating, right? But yes, Liverpool defences look quite open. So I don't like Gyökeres is obviously not essential, but like game week 7, I'm going to want him. And the thing is, oh God, FPL kills me sometimes. I've got Watkins, right? So that's a straight switch to Gyökeres. Now, Watkins has dropped in price, so it's not quite a straight swap, but it's close enough. But Watkins has got Burnley at home in 7, so I won't want to sell him. So unless I make a 2-move transfer elsewhere, I won't get Gyökeres till 9. So, like, this is where it's obvious now to say, well, I can just swap Watkins, but I won't swap Watkins in 7. I know I won't. Arsenal are likely to score and the number 9 is likely to be involved. Yes. Premier League has an offensive projection this year. There'll be less clean sheets. Possibly. Why not João Pedro? I'm just not all that interested in him generally. Just minutes long term, no penalties, probably. Like, if Palmer was out for a while, I would strongly look at João Pedro. But I prefer Mateta over the next 3. Just about. I mean, João Pedro is better this week. My plan with Strand Larson, honestly, I could see myself using 2 transfers this week and then wildcarding him 4. I could see that happening. Gyökeres was literally the best striker in Europe last season. Maybe. I mean, in terms of goals, but he wasn't playing in the Premier League, was he? I don't think Gyökeres will be good in tough fixtures, but will hoover up versus the bottom half. 14 months, Rory. Thank you. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right. It does feel bad, but like the thing is, it's just an annoying week because I don't really have that much faith in the Palace players either. I'm basically being forced into having to make a move for players I don't really want this week. So I think Enzo is the second on penalties after Palmer. I actually think João Pedro's got a really good chance of taking them, but it's hard to know for sure. Arsenal haven't really created a typical chance for Gyökeres next. Yeah, but also we shouldn't be too worried about that after 2 games. If Burnley get a result against United, would you still recommend free hit? Yes. I honestly don't. What does it matter if Man United lose to Burnley or not as to whether Liverpool are good against Burnley? You know, there's no correlation really. Burnley lost 3-0 to Spurs first game. Dubravka, Van Dijk, Wirtz, Mateta bench boost. I mean, when are you going to get a better bench than that? I know they're playing Arsenal, but still. My team for game week 3. Any tips? Well, what moves are you thinking about making? I mean, my initial thoughts are that looks freaking strong, to be honest. So I don't even know what moves you'd want to make. I don't know about you, but I don't care about these early chips. I just get rid. Well, that's part of the reason I want a bench boost in game week 5. But Strand Larsen has kind of messed that plan up a little bit. Bench Gay, Wan-Bissaka or Rice? Probably not Rice. Gay away to Villa. Wan-Bissaka is away to Forest. I'd probably play Wan-Bissaka, I think. How much importance do you put in team value? I know you don't like early transfers, and neither do I, thanks to you. Oh, God. Well, don't say thanks to me, because that's probably a bad thing. But do you think losing team value will hurt? So I think it's worth clarifying, right? I'm not completely against early transfers. And in fact, if you were absolutely sure what move you wanted to make last night, you should have probably moved before Palmer was dropping. I probably should have moved, to be honest. I think it was a mistake. So I do think team value is important, but it's like anything at FPL. It's really difficult to give evergreen advice. There's no point saying team value is not important or it is important, because when it comes down to a certain transfer, there might, in some cases, there might be how much. Okay, let me try and explain. Let me try and get my words out. It's quite early. With Palmer, we know he's not playing game week 3. There's no issues with that. So selling him last night made a lot of sense. If it's like a price, let's say international break, there's a player that's going to go down in price in the first week. You're not sure. You're waiting for more info and stuff. That's probably not worth going for. But last night, it probably was worth going for the Palmer drop. So I think team value is important. Please don't get me wrong on that. I just think that some people overreact to it too much. Like any time a player is changing in price, they've got to make the transfer straight away. I don't agree with that necessarily. What a day to play FPL. It's not a bad day to be inside talking about FPL. It's absolutely miserable. I got soaked on my walk this morning. Palmer to Saar done last night. Very nice. You got the price change. I need to do full Krug to João Pedro, Wood, Watkins, Gyökeres this morning. Would you take a hit to get another in place of Strand Larsen or just play Rodon? I'd probably just play Rodon, I think. Have you not considered free hit? I have, but I really don't like it, to be honest. Really don't like it. Because I'll get to game week 4 and I'll still... Yeah, game week 4 and I'll still only have 2 transfers. I might have Palmer, Strand Larsen to deal with still. I guess Wirtz is okay. I'd rather just deal with it now, to be honest. I don't see enough value in free hitting this week for my team versus free hitting in 6 and just getting Haaland then. But you don't have to get Haaland in 6, and you also don't have to free hit to get him. You could just use transfers to get him in. 0.5 in the bank, so I went with Palmer to Saar and Guiu to Gyökeres. Liverpool haven't looked good defensively, so it might be good to bring him in this week. Yeah, I think he's a good pick. Kudus, Utara, Gakpo, what 2 to start? I free hit. Well, I wouldn't have Gakpo on a free hit, so the other 2, I guess. I just want to get bench boost out of the way, really. Would you bench boost Dubravka, Reinders, Munoz, and Estev? Probably, if you want to get it out of the way. Why not? Again, are you going to have... that bench will probably look better next week, I would assume. Maybe, or game week 5, potentially. Reinders would have Arsenal away in game week 5, but still. Bench boost Dubravka, Anderson, Nottingham Forest, Dorgu. I mean, is Dorgu really on your bench? Really? Burnley at home? He's your 4th best defender this week. I find that hard to believe, but it might be that you've got Forest defenders, for example, and Poro, so fair enough. Yes, I would absolutely bench boost Dubravka, Nottingham Forest, Anderson, Dorgu, and Reinders. I don't think you'll get a much better bench later on. Would you bench Rodgers, Wirtz, or Dewsbury Hall? Dewsbury Hall, I think. Would you play Dubravka against Man United or Henderson against Villa? I mean, who's more likely to get a clean sheet? I'm just going to go by I'm going to go by the odds on this one, because I think that's just super close. So according to Rob's numbers from a few days ago, Burnley clean sheet chance is 11%, and for Palace, it's 21%. So I'd go Henderson. I really think, like, I completely understand. I've been here so many times with Man United, right? They're just painful. When the fixtures came out, I said I wasn't going to start with any Man United players, so I hate myself right now. But also, it's Burnley at home. Like, seriously. Like, we should, like, I know Man United lost to Grimsby, but let's not pretend that they're now going to lose to Burnley. Like, that's probably very unlikely to happen. They're going to score a couple of goals. I'm confident. Probably not from Bruno Fernandes, but there we go. Should I play double Newcastle defence or double Everton defence, or the back three of Cucurella, Porro, Livramento? I mean, that back three seems pretty good. It depends who your other options are, really. Like, if it's Tarkowski, he might be quite tempting instead of Livramento, maybe, because Wolves are obviously missing Strand Larsen, probably. But Cucurella, Porro, Livramento looks good. Start Ruta or Juve. Ruta will be a sell game week 4. I'm not convinced Ruta starting, to be honest. So I guess Juve for that reason. My plan with Strand Larsen right now is probably just to leave him and hope that he's playing for Wolves in game week 4. They lost to most of their first team on the pitch. It wasn't most of their first team, was it? I guess a few of them. Like, Bruno didn't start and Burma didn't start. I don't think De Ligt started earlier either. I mean, most of them were. But, like, again... Yeah, there's no point in keeping on chatting about it. Like, if you don't want to go for Man United players this week, just don't go for Man United players. But the idea that you now can't back Man United players against Burnley because they lost to Grimsby on penalties is just nonsense. It's just a massive overreaction. If you've got Bruno and you don't want to captain him now, fair enough, take the armband off him. But, you know, if anyone's free hitting this week, I would have 3 Man United players and I wouldn't give it a second thought, to be honest. Everyone's sleeping on Osula. Does he definitely start? I don't think Eddie Howe rates him that much, but I guess he probably does. But he's not going to start much after this week, so there's every reason to sleep on him. Maybe on a bench boost, but maybe on a free hit. But even then, why would you put in Osler ahead of like Wood, Watkins, Haaland, etc.? I've got Palmer and Strand Larsen. Nice. Me too. Sucks, doesn't it? Reinders and Juve / Estev off the bench for now. No free transfer. Would you take a -4 or write it out? I mean, Reinders is fine, right? Reinders can play. Juve says probably okay. I probably wouldn't take a hit, but I wouldn't hate it either, I guess, because of the situation you're in. Would I do a live stream tonight if Bruno misses a penalty? No chance. No chance. It's bad enough reading all the comments this week. Oh, my dad, like the amount of comments on my short free hit video, so many comments were like, was this before or after Grimsby? It doesn't matter. It's Burnley at home. Do you remember, like, after game week 1, like, people were saying you can't play Burnley players against Sunderland because Sunderland have just scored 3 goals? Like, it's okay to change your opinion, but people just go from one extreme to the other all the time with FPL. Should I play Dango Utara over Cunha? Come on, seriously? Are you seriously thinking about that? I don't believe you. I'm not even going to answer that question. Should I captain Haaland or Wood? I would probably captain Haaland, but I don't hate Chris Wood. Would you sell Marmoush for -4? By the way, let's hope that Cunha starts, but I think he will. Would you sell Marmoush for a -4? Probably not, but you're constantly going to have this headache. Would you transfer Palmer for Fernandes or someone else, or bench Palmer and play Salah, Dewsbury Hall, Wirtz and Reinders? I would, in most cases, I would probably sell Palmer, to be honest with you. It doesn't have to be for Bruno Fernandes, but yeah. Considering Richarlison in for Strand Larsen, no. Who to bench, Reinders or Saab? I think I'd bench Reinders. I think I would bench Reinders. Game week 3 only punt. Ndoye, Dango, Johnson, I think. Oh, Johnson or Barnes. Johnson or Barnes. I'm going to go Barnes because I think Leeds got a few injury problems. Wesley, how's it going? I transferred Palmer to Sarr and Guiu to Pedro for a -4. Thoughts? Seems okay, yeah. This is the second time I've taken a -4 already this season. I'm normally in control of my emotions on transfers. I blame the poor start. I get it, right? I was on my walk this morning, and this thought went through my head. I was like, why didn't you just start the season with Gyökeres? Like, you could have captained him against Leeds at home. You'd have him for game week 3. But then I was like, what are you on about? What do you mean, why didn't I start with Yorkresh? There was Havertz there. He got subbed before the 60th minute. We didn't know, obviously, that Havertz was going to get an injury. Like, all these thoughts going through your head. Like, FPL is so much easier to play when you get a good start. So you're not alone. Like, I mean, I have to tell myself, why are you thinking like this? It doesn't make any sense. There's so many good reasons why you didn't start with Yorkresh. But it's just natural to kind of think about that. Taha, new member, thank you. You are still stuck in that old transfer mentality. You get more free transfers now. You don't get more free transfers. You can roll more transfers. So you don't get more. Like, we still get one a week. We do get some more for AFCON, but that's like 13 weeks away. So the idea that I should wildcard because I'm going to get 5 free transfers in game week 16 makes no sense. So questions like, should I actually play Cunha against Burnley or someone else? That just really feels like people that were asking me whether they should captain Reinders in game week 2. Like, it's just nuts, honestly. Now, if you don't want to bring Cunha in, I completely get it, especially if you're like me and you got Bruno already. But the idea that you shouldn't play him is, why even spend time thinking about that? Start Tarkowski or Wirtz. I mean, Tarkowski will probably get 4 points minimum. Will Wirtz get that? Honestly, I'd play Wirtz. I know that I would play Wirtz, but I think it's a fair question. Who would my dream front 3 be this week? Probably Watkins, Haaland, and Wood, I think. Maybe Šeško punt if I knew he was going to start, but I think I wouldn't want to put myself through that misery. And 37 months, how's it going? On a stag. Nice, enjoy. Not seeing many videos, top PALMER replacements. So some people are going for Cunha as a 1 week punt. Or maybe like just to get him in and hold him for a few weeks. I would say the majority are doing something like Sarr, maybe Reinders, something like that. Sarr and Reinders seem to be the most. I would say Man United, Sarr, Reinders. Some Semenyo as well. Wood or João Pedro or Salah for captain. Out of those, I say Wood. Sleeping on Tottenham, Sarr. There's no way I would bring him in now. They've got Xavi Simons to come in. He's probably going to play... He's probably still going to play... he's probably going to come in and play number 10. You've got Kudus on the right, Johnson on the left. Like, Sarr's now competing with like 2 other players for 2 spots. It's crazy how people are ignoring Ekitike. I think you've got to ignore him this week. Because if Isak comes in, long-term his minutes might go down. I will say, a lot of people have pointed out to me that even if Isak comes in, Ekitike probably starts in 4, maybe 5 as well. And I agree with that because Isak's had like no preseason, like not proper preseason, and obviously he's not playing at the moment. But I still think I would resist getting him in right now. Yes, I know the Yorkresh stuff is hindsight. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to like relate to people that I understand what, like, if you've had a bad start to the season, like it's very hard to like just keep doing what you would usually do. But even I'm having thoughts about why didn't I start Yorkresh. It's obviously complete hindsight nonsense. If someone actually said that to me in a comment, I'd say that to them. I'd say that's just massive hindsight. But we all get those thoughts. Why didn't I bench boost in game week 1? Why didn't I free hit in game week 2? Why did I start with Bruno Fernandes again? Horrible start to the season. 6 or 7 million overall rank. What's a million anyway? I've got Palmer, Fulcro, Gio, and Wirtz. Opinions on free hit. I'll probably use it in game week 6 to get Haaland because I don't think I'm going to do it with transfers. For what it's worth, I can't really find like a great week to free hit. Like, I know game week 2 free hitters did really well generally, but there's not really like a massive standout. I don't think I'm going to gain a huge amount from free hit 6, but it almost saves my sanity a little bit. I know I can just get Haaland and I don't have to worry about getting him with transfers. I can just keep Salah. Like, I think Haaland's probably better for 6 and 7, but after that, it's a lot closer. So, opinions on free hit this week. So the problem is, like, Guiu does not get any better probably game week 4 onwards. Maybe a little bit better, but not massively. Fulcro probably doesn't get better. Palmer could be back, and Wirtz obviously has Burnley. So you've got a little bit of reason to free hit, but, it might still be better for your team to use it later. What I will say is, I think people that are free hitting this week are probably making a better decision generally than those wildcarding, but obviously it's always team dependent. Aditya, thank you. Rice versus Liverpool or Van der Ven versus Bournemouth. I'd probably go Rice, I think. Bench 1, Reinders, Sarr, Kudus, Mateta, Watkins. You can't bench Watkins. You can't bench Kudus, I think, because it's home. So it's Saar, Mateta, or Reinders. I'd probably bench Reinders. I think Reinders is pretty good this week for what it's worth. But out of the two, I think that's what I would do. Start Doof or Anderson. So away to Chelsea or home. Away. I'd start Doof, I think. Anderson is a bit of a defensive contribution monster, and Fulham are a decent defence, but Doof for the attacking potential. Start Wirtz or Anderson. Is Wirtz guaranteed to start? I mean, I guess Wirtz is like when people ask me if Cunha's guaranteed to start. I don't know if I would say 100%. That they're not Salah and Bruno. I'm pretty sure Wirtz will start, yeah. Again, I get why people are asking the question. Like, I really do. But then I try and think about it objectively. I try and think of it as if I didn't have Wirtz. Like, how do they spend that much money and take him out versus Arsenal? And I don't always agree when people say they've spent this much money, therefore they've got to start. But in Wirtz's case, it's over 100 million. Like, you've got to try and make it work. And I know you could make the argument that you just get McAllister and Szoboszlai in because all this experience in the league, etc., against that Arsenal midfield, and you make sure you get the points, and then you bring Wirtz back in. But I just do not see it. Like, Wirtz would 100% be in any predicted lineup I did for Liverpool right now. I'm more confident of Wirtz. No, I'm not even going to say that. Bench Saar or Gakpo. Saar, I think. Bench one, Romero, Reinders, or Wirtz. Probably Romero. Think Bruno for Semenyo. What do you think? Again, nowhere I'll be selling Bruno before Burnley at home. Doesn't make any sense to me. -4 Strand Larsen to Chris Wood. Esteb de Kuiper on the bench. I don't hate it. I've actually looked at a -4 myself. Something like Palmer to Anderson and then Strand Larsen and Guiu to like Wood and Mateta. But with Wood having Arsenal away next week, I don't know. I just think if Strand Larsen stays at Wolves, I think he's okay to hold. So that's why I probably won't do it. But I get it, right? Chris Wood's got West Ham at home. So it is a little bit tempting to take that -4. Is it worth using my free transfer to remove Wirtz? If not this week, he has to stay for the next two. 36 months, by the way. I wouldn't think like that, by the way. Like, you're kind of you're framing it that basically if you don't take the hit now, if you don't take him out now, you're going to get stuck with him. But if you got to next week and you've got him, it's okay. He's got Burnley away. So I think it's reasonable to want to sell Wirtz, and you absolutely can do it. But I wouldn't do it just because you'll be annoyed that you've got to keep him for 2 good fixtures afterwards. Risebet gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Have picked Kudus over Saar solely on fixtures. I think it's fine. Like right now, the minutes look pretty good unless they sign another attacker. Then there could be a bit more of a reduction potentially. I don't think Xavi Simons makes much difference to Kudus right now. I think if they buy another attacker, then it could because Brennan Johnson probably gets benched, but obviously he can then sub on for players like Kudus. Newcastle, Everton, Brentford, best clean sheet chance. I would say probably... Oh, Everton. Okay, I'm going to give my thoughts, then I'm going to see what Rob has put out. So I'm going to say... Oh, no Strand Larsen as well now. I'm going to say that order. Newcastle, Everton, Brentford. Newcastle, Everton, Brentford is what I'm going to say. Let's see. Let's see what the clean sheet odds are. Oh, he's got an update. Rob's just put out an update a few minutes ago. So Everton 34, Newcastle only 28. There you go. Maybe it should be Everton. No Strand Larsen, I think, is probably playing a big part in that. And then Brentford's got to be lower than both. Oh, 31. So Newcastle lowest. Wow. I got that completely wrong. Completely wrong. I'm an idiot. I guess Leeds are probably a stronger team than Sunderland. Probably plays into it. I need your help. Should I take a -4 for Palmer out or start Dewsbury Hall? Also have Strand Larsen. Well, if okay. Well, if you're going to have to start Dewsbury Hall and Strand Larsen, I'd be tempted to take the -4. You can maybe free hit. I'd be tempted to take the -4, I think. Palmer to Semenyo and Guiu to Wood, or Palmer to Semenyo and Guiu to Gyökeres. I think I'd get Gyökeres over Wood for a long-term pick, but it's pretty close. Kept Palmer, 2 free transfers. Thiago, 3rd forward. Wirtz to Gibbs White. Nice. Eamon, you remember, thank you. Bench Wirtz, Reinders, or Bruno? Come on. Don't add Bruno into these questions. You're not benching Bruno. Just be realistic with yourself. Verts or Reinders is a fairer question. Honestly, I think I would play Verts, but it probably should be Reinders. Better fixture. Wood or João Pedro captain? I would go Chris Wood, probably. I do think João Pedro is very good this week, though, because he could get penalties. Why are you even starting Palmer? I'm not starting Palmer. Well, I am, literally, but I'm going to transfer him out, obviously. Bench 1, Dewsbury Hall, Verts, Reinders, Nico Williams, or Van Dijk. Van Dijk out of those, I think. Yeah, Bruno's a terrible pick. That's whatever. That doesn't matter right now. You're not benching him. Like, stop asking these questions. He's got Burnley at home. You're not benching him. Stop pretending that you are. Honestly, if you're thinking about benching Bruno against Burnley, just sell him. Like, if you're not going to play him against Burnley, when are you going to play him? Like, it makes absolute no sense. Maybe people are just winding me up, but that person paid money to ask the question. Bench 1, Sarr, Mateta, Semenyo, Verts, Reinders. Again, Reinders versus Sarr. I'd probably bench Reinders, I think, out of those. Honestly, I hate saying that, though. He's going to absolutely kill me. Again, well, after Game Week 1, obviously, he killed me. He didn't kill me in Game Week 2. Strand Larsen's not worth selling with those fixtures up to Game Week 11. If he stays at Wolves, though, he might go to Newcastle. That would then be a problem because they got Voltemada as well. Start Gakpo or Reinders. Gakpo, I think. I'm on free hit 4. Would you do Palmer to Sarr or Cunha or just play Dew from roll? I'd be tempted just to get Cunha because you missed the City away game then. And then I know Chelsea at home's not great, but then you've got Chelsea at home, Brentford away, Sunderland at home. Looks a lot better. I think I'd get Cunha. Bench 1, Rogers, Sarr, or the new Lionel Messi, a.k.a. Reinders. Probably Reinders out of those. I think if you've got Rogers, you've got to start him. Captain Porro, trust me, you'll remember this comment. I definitely won't remember that comment. Actually, I might do now. I've said it out loud. But there's no chance I'm going to captain Porro. Is Mark Gill over Verts dumb? I wouldn't say anything's dumb in FPL. Not really. But Mark Gill's not going to start. Is the most likely thing here, and Verts probably is going to start. So I think Verts. Get Cunha. We all know you want to. There's no way I'm adding another Man United player to my team. I just do not need that in my life, basically. People paying money to rage bait Andy. Maybe. You know, it's not the worst way to make a living. Is Gibbs White a good captain? I mean, he probably wouldn't be in my top 5 this week. Like without thinking, like Wood, Haaland, Salah, Fernandes, Cunha, Mbeumo, João Pedro. Would probably all be ahead of Gibbs White for me. I mean, I get it because it's West Ham at home, but so people keep out. I have put my thoughts in the ticker at the bottom to what my transfers will be. So I will probably sell. I will sell Palmer. He's not going to be in my team by the deadline. I'm going to sell him to Sarr, Reinders, or Anderson. Are probably my favoured 3, and then it will probably be Gio up to Gyökeres or Mateta. It will probably be Mateta. I'm probably going to get Sarr and Mateta, honestly. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. I'm not trying to build it up, so you have to watch the rest of the deadline stream. Feel free to log off. I will probably buy Sarr and Mateta if that's what you're waiting for. I might not, but I probably will. Thoughts on Foden for a punt? I mean, it feels a bit rubbish because he probably won't start, right? So I can't see any reason to go for it. There is part of me thinking just get Reinders over Sarr, by the way, and just save the money. Even if I get Mateta instead of Gyökeres. Or just get Reinders and Gyökeres. I don't know. Njai, Sarr, Bruno, Kudus, Verts, Watkins, Ekitike, João Pedro, bench 1. I would probably... Well, Verts, I guess. Out of those, maybe Verts, yeah? Seems wrong, doesn't it, though? See, it seems really wrong. That feels like a bit of an overreaction. Thoughts on Ndoye? What is he? Only 6 million, right? They have signed another forward, though. So that worries me a little bit. I can't... Hang on a sec. I need to... I'm checking how many Jesus. I just opened up the FPL page and I've got João Pedro in my team, like on the transfer page. I better make sure to not hit confirm. I don't even know. Wait, is he not? Is he a forward, right? It's Endoigo, no? Is he a midfielder? Oh, I thought he was listed as a forward. 78 and 70. Yeah, the fixtures are there, I get it. I just don't know long term about the minutes of players like that. They've signed so many players, Forest. But hey, I thought he was listed as a forward. So again, what the hell do I know? Absolutely nothing. Rolling is much more valuable. I disagree. I've seen people say like rolling for information 3 free transfers. I get it, right? But I also have issues right in front of me, like big issues. So the idea of rolling for my team, in my opinion, makes no sense whatsoever. Now, I could buy Sarah and Mateta against Villarreal. They could just both blank. Like, it's absolutely a possibility, but I still think it's better to buy them than to roll. Wood or Mateta on wildcard? I guess I actually think Mateta might be slightly better, but I guess because of West Ham, Burnley, and Sunderland next 4, it's probably got to be Chris Wood. Just the Arsenal game next week would annoy me. Should I buy Pedro Porro for -4 or keep Wan-Bissaka? Probably just keep Wan-Bissaka. Is Watkins worth holding or should I buy Gyökeres? I really don't think you can do Watkins to Gyökeres this week, in my opinion. If you really wanted to do it in game week 7, when Gyökeres has got West Ham, fair enough. But even that week, Watkins has got Burnley. Free hit team, Pope, fine. Dorgu, Milenkovic, Livramento, Cunha, Gibbs-White, Utara, Bruno, João Pedro, Wood, Harden. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. I think if you're basically going like triple Man United, triple Forest, throwing in a Haaland, maybe 1 or 2 Newcastle, that's fine, right? And obviously Utara's got Sunderland and João Pedro's good this week. So I probably would. I had Wood, Haaland, and Watkins in my free hit team that I did on Wednesday. Actually, I probably would put João Pedro in over Watkins. I'd be tempted to do that. What do you think about Njai, Sharda, Kudus, or any other recommendations? I've done my free hit. I like Newcastle midfielders this week. You could go for Gibbs-White as a punt. I've seen a few people mention him. So Barnes, Alanga, Gibbs-White you could look at. Dango Utara instead of Sharda maybe. Brennan Johnson. That's another one I think I would change. I put Kudus in on Wednesday. I think I'd actually choose Brennan Johnson. He's more likely to score. And if it's on free hit, you don't have to worry about his longer term minutes. Sells, Milenkovic, Porro, Kukurea in Burmo, and Cunha, Barnes, Dango Utara, Haaland, João Pedro, and Wood. Okay? I'm not sure what that's referring to, but looks good, whatever it is. Why free hit 6 when Haaland is a hold thereafter? Because I wouldn't hold him afterwards. I just keep hold of Salah instead. Like, I think Haaland's fine, but it's probably one or the other, and I think I still prefer Salah just about over Haaland after 6. Like in 7, Haaland's better. By the way, it's absolutely fine if you want to transfer Salah out and get Haaland. But like game week 8, I'd probably captain Salah against Man United at home. And game week 7, like when Haaland's got Brentford away, that is obviously the best. That's probably going to be the best captain that week. But Gyökeres is home to West Ham. Watkins is home to Burnley. Fernandes is home to Sunderland. There's options. And then Salah's got Brentford away in 9, Villa at home in 10. Like, it looks okay. I think both are fine. If I don't free hit 6, I'm not really sure when I'm going to use it, to be honest. Verbruggen City at home or Petrovic Tottenham away, bench 1. I'd probably just play Verbruggen, I think. Free hit Dango, Grealish, in Burma and Cunha, I guess that is. Pope, Dorgu, Tart, Kukurea. Nice. Bench 1, Porro, Dorgu, Munoz. Oof. I mean, probably Munoz out of those. Feels wrong. And wildcard, Kudus or John. Kudus, I think. Mark, how's it going? Would you do Strand Larson to Mateta -4? My sub, I'd play as the Kuiper. Oof. I'd be a little bit tempted, yes. It doesn't happen often, but I took your advice. Let's go Cunha. Oh, God. Oh, God. Tempted to captain him or Bruno, but leaving it on Haaland. Nice. I'm on wildcard. What's the best 3 forwards this week and sets you up for the foreseeable? Again, I've not massively looked at it, but I probably wouldn't go Haaland, I don't think. I'd probably go something like Gyökeres, Mateta, and then someone else. Maybe like a Wood, if you can afford it, and go a bit cheaper in midfielder, would be my my thinking. Yeah, Wood, Gyökeres, I mean, Watkins maybe instead of Yorkeresh. I do like Mateta as well. That's probably the 3 of the 4. Wood, Mateta, Yorkeresh, Watkins. Probably the main players to look at. I think Aït-Nouri will start, yes. Pep said he's fine. I'm free hitting, got all 3 Man United midfielders. I don't hate it. I'd probably go for a defender just the way that I would structure the team, but there's nothing wrong with 3 midfielders, I don't think. Fingers crossed for you, because Man United lost to Grimsby, you know? So that means they're definitely going to lose to Burnley. Bench 1, Evan Nielsen, Semenyo, Mateta, Kudus, Anderson. I think it's probably got to be Anderson, right? But it feels wrong. Best part about having a low rank is the guaranteed green arrows this week. Can you check your bench rankings? Yes, they do look wrong because they're not from this week. So I can just get rid of that. They're not supposed to be on there, to be honest. There we go. There wasn't really too many benching headaches this week. Yeah, I mean, I said to my wife actually, she was downstairs. I said I'm just going to go and stream, and she said, "Good luck." Something like it'll be full of green arrows or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, and I was like, I don't know. Like even at my rank, I'm still not 100% sure I'm getting a green arrow. There's still a little bit of worry. Also, I think do you know what? I've got to update my overall rank. There's a big update coming to my overall rank on the deadline stream, by the way. You see, just below where I'm sat, you're about to see a massive update. I am not 7.59 million. You ready for this? It's going to change. I am not 7.59 million. I'm 7.46 million. Jeez, give myself some credit. That's like 100,000 people I'm ahead of there. Alanga or Barnes, please tell me in detail. Honestly, I really don't have much detail to give you. They're both going to start the next 3 games. My personal preference is Barnes, so I think he's got a bit of a better eye for goal, but Alanga's had the chances so far. So that's it. Barnes is a bit cheaper as well, might help with some other moves. I would go Barnes. Detailed reasons for that, I really don't have any for you. Would you hold Palmer till after the break if you're a non-Salah Haaland team? No. Honestly, I think if you've got the transfers to move it, I know they've not got amazing fixtures this week. There's very little reasons to be on a non-Salah Haaland team right now, in my opinion, with no Palmer, no Saka. I've already got a green arrow. There you go, 100k. Am I mental for Watkins captain? No. But again, I probably wouldn't do it. Free hit thoughts. Sales, nice. Poro, nice. Kukure, Dorgu, Neto. Neto's not really. I mean, I'm not Neto's biggest fan from an FPL point of view anyway, but he's not really come up in my thinking at all. But he's fine. Yeah, I'd probably change Neto. Otherwise, most of the other picks all look fine to me. Bench 1, Reinders, Rogers, Sarr. I think it's Reinders, right? Does anyone else agree with that? Like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to put a poll up for this question because it's coming up a few times, and I get it. People are a little bit worried about benching Reinders. I'm just going to put who to start, right? Maybe no. What's better? What confuses people less? Who to start? I think. Oh. Wait. This will be interesting because there's a lot of Reinders owners out there. There you go. We'll let the people decide. Well, what confuses me less as well, you know? Where is it? Is Strand Larson definitely out? Not definitely, but it sounds quite likely that he's going to miss the game. Yes. There's a lot of noise around it. Like enough that makes me think he's probably going to miss out. I'm stuck on Captain Bruno or Dorgu Gibbs White for a fun punt. I'd probably go Bruno. What's my reason for captaincy ranking? It's just in order of who I think will score the most points this week, basically. Again, I don't know if Haaland's actually ahead of the other two because of the fixture, but I find it hard to bet against him this week. And then Fernandes midfielder, penalties, Defcons, and Chris Wood. Yeah. Again, there's not much in it. If you want to captain Wood ahead of Fernandes, then you probably should. Show me free hit team with a good starter and differential. I'm not going to go through a free hit team right now, but I put one out on the game week preview. You can go and have a look at. Should I keep Watkins and Rodgers? Yes, probably. João Pedro or Salah on captain. I'd probably go Salah, but I honestly don't hate João Pedro captain this week. He's going to start. His minutes will be good. He might be on penalties. Palmer, Watkins, Van Dijk for Haaland, Munoz, Reinders -4. I honestly, I don't like selling Watkins for a -4 even to get Haaland, but I guess it's fine. Who would you get if you already had Mateta? I'd probably try and work towards Yorkeresh, I think. If not, like someone like Chris Wood, maybe. João Pedro or Wood or Yorkeresh, who's better? Yorkeresh is your long-term pick, basically. Otherwise, I'd go Wood. If you're on free hit and could only pick one Man United midfielder, Bruno and Burmo Cunha. There's part of me that wants to say Cunha first, but I actually think I'd go Bruno, Cunha, and Burmo. In Burmo's minutes might be better this week, by the way. But yeah, probably Bruno, then Cunha, then Burmo, I think. Watkins has better fixtures than Haaland next 3. Game week 6, Haaland is clear. I'd probably still rather have Haaland, but yeah, I don't see any reason to sell Watkins, to be honest with you. I'm struggling with who to replace Palmer with. I've got Strand Larson too. What do you think of swapping to Gakpo and Mateta? I think it's just the wrong time to buy Gakpo. Could be amazing, but I think it's the wrong time. Like, if they don't, they are going to buy another attacker. There's no way they go into the season without buying someone else. Like, the bench just looks thin for Liverpool. I know Rio, I've got to learn his second name, came off the bench and like he's a talent and he's going to get used a bit more. But I don't see him being used that regularly unless Slot absolutely has to. It just feels wrong to buy Gakpo right now. Benching headache, Gakpo, Sarr, Reinders. I would probably bench Reinders, but the people are saying to bench Sarr. For what it's worth, I think if they buy Isak, it'll be Ekatike's minutes that go down more than Gakpo, but it just becomes a headache either way. You're massively overrating Man United. I sold Cunha and a double Burnley defence. I feel like you're just trying to troll me. And if not, that just gives me hope that I can still climb the ranks if people are doing that. Palmer to King. Guy to Yorkeresh and Larson to Wood -4. I'm not sure about buying Josh King. He looks okay right now. Marco Silva keeps talking about needing players. Josh King's obviously a talent as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about buying. I'd rather go to like a 5 million like stack or something like that. No Bruno, get Haaland as captain for a -4. Depends who else you like. I think Haaland's probably the best this week, but I'm not sure I would -4 it. You must have someone else, no? If you really don't have anyone else, then of course get Haaland. Why does so many go for Sarr instead of Kudus? Minutes is one. Sunderland at home next week is another. So Brennan Johnson in particular, I'd be worried about his minutes longer term. Semenyo is probably better than Sarr, but Sarr is cheaper. So the money is helpful. So it's not just whether Sarr is better than Semenyo, it's also what the money would allow. Like for me, if I do Sarr and Mateta, I can get Munoz next week, or I think I want. Yeah, Nicholas Jackson is going to Bayern on loan. It's like a 13 million loan fee or something like that, which is kind of mad. I think Bayern wanted Voltemada and just didn't obviously end up going. Why Bruno as captain? Burnley at home, mostly. But you're right. It could be disastrous. Wildcard ideas. I've not, apart from like looking at the drafts people have put up, I've not massively looked at it myself. But I think I would want... I think I would have probably 1 to 3 Palace players. Because you've got Sunderland at home next week, West Ham away in 5. It is Liverpool in 6, so I maybe wouldn't triple up unless you're free hitting. I'd probably have to have 1 or 2 Forest players, probably at least 1 defender, maybe Chris Wood. I'd also want Gabriel if you can and Yorkeresh, I think, just to save yourself transfers down the line. Even though it's not like obviously you could bench Gabriel, but you'd probably have to play Yorkeresh this week. Bradley's trained all week, so yeah, he's going to be fit to start, I think. I just don't agree that Wirtz is going to be behind Szoboszlai in the pecking order, but you could be right. You could be right. Maybe McAllister just doesn't start again. But yeah, Bradley's going to start. I'm pretty confident of that. 70 million buy option. Oof. I can't see them taking that up, but you never know. Palmer ownership has fallen from 45 to 30%, and by the start of Game Week 4, his ownership will be below 20. That's massive differential. It is, yeah, as long as he's starting. Get Kukure or 8 Nori on wildcard. By the way, sorry, you've reminded me, right? Did Pep say anything about Vardiol? Because I had a look through some of the quotes on the City Extra tweets, and I could not see anything about Vardiol. So I don't even know when he might be back. On wildcard, I think I would. The thing is, Man City's fixtures are good from 6. The one thing I would think about on wildcard is how many risks you've got, because you don't have another wildcard now to bail you out. So Kukure, you know, is always going to start. 8 Nori, you don't. But we don't have an update on Vardiol. So if Vardiol's not available still, 8 Nori is going to keep starting. I think I would probably go safety first and go Kukure. But if 8 Nori is still starting from game week 6, you'll regret it, I think. Who was the main man in your first squad 15 years ago? I honestly cannot remember. But I know in the first, it might not have been the first season, but the first couple of years I played, like Chelsea were big, like Malouda and Drogba, players like that. I think I started just after, like, I think people had like lots of like Lampard, Ronaldo, etc. I started after that. You think it'll be Szoboszlai right back again? We'll see. We'll see. Would you get Semenyo and Wood for Palmer and Guiu? I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I think that's pretty good moves. Yeah, I didn't see anything about Vardy either. Do you think Pep will start firing? I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. You took Palmer out yesterday before the price shot. Already had 3 players drop by 0.1. Exactly the same here. Wirtz, Palmer and Watkins. Super frustrating. I wouldn't take a hit to not play Wirtz. I know he's been bad, but still. Saar benching having played UEFA Conference League. I mean, he started 90 minutes after playing Conference League playoffs before that. Who are they going to bench him for? On free hit, thoughts on defence, Sells, Milenkovic, Kukurea, Livramento. I'd probably go for the first 3, all at home. I bought in Yorkeresh today, which looks stupid before Anfield away, but I really think Liverpool are very prone defensively, and then Forest at home and City at home is not that bad. I free hit in 6. Yeah, I'm thinking about it too. Vardiol has a small chance to start versus Brighton, but definitely back after the international break. Where did you see that, though? I didn't see anything about... I didn't see anything yesterday about Vardiol, but I might have missed it. Will Onana get... I don't think... Yeah, I think Bayern will start for Man United, but, I mean, just don't go anywhere near that. I think... If you're going to go Man United defence on like a free hit, I would just get Dorgu or Delict. Who's the best differential captaincy picks? I mean, I think Wood will be quite a differential. I think João Pedro as well. It depends how different you want to go, really. I will be making changes to my team this week. Yeah, all in the ticker at the bottom. Ticker at the bottom. Alanga -4, probably not. Depends who you're selling. Had a nice lie-in after casually bringing in Semenyo for Palmer. Very nice. Vigorous pigeon. Pedro versus Watkins for captain. I'd be tempted to go João Pedro, honestly. Would you go without any Man United? I probably would if I wasn't on free hit, I guess. We share exactly 1 player. Yeah, my team's in trouble, isn't it? My team is in trouble. Priced out of Wood and Semenyo by 0.1. Ouch. Kukurea, Pickford or Sanchez share. For this week, probably Sanchez share. Share might be on penalties, you know. I think it might. I think if they get a penalty, it might be Bruno Guimaraes, but it could be share. Okay, Vardio's in the Croatia squad. Okay, fair enough. Best keeper for wildcard. I mean, I still quite like Sanchez, to be honest, and Dubravka. I think longer term, you prefer Chelsea to Forest. Start Gabriel or Richards. Oof. I'd probably go Gabriel. Goal threat is there. Would you leave Palmer on the bench? I think for some people's teams that makes sense, but it depends how many other issues you got. The fact that I've got Strand Larsen means there's no chance I'm going to leave Palmer on the bench. I'm going to sell him. Do I think Hudson-Odoi is being overlooked? Yes, but honestly, I think he's rightly being overlooked. Yeah, Strand Larsen's probably not going to play yet. Wasn't at the team hotel. I said this to some people last night. Maybe he just prefers sleeping in his own bed. Maybe he performs better on the pitch if he sleeps in his own bed. It's a home game, so he might be meeting up later. Who knows? But yeah, he's probably not going to play, annoyingly. If you went Mateta, I wouldn't double up. Kudus then makes sense if 3 hit 6. I don't agree with that, to be honest. Whether I go Saar has no. I mean, the only reason to maybe not double up is because when I get to game week 9, they've got, I think, Arsenal away as well. But I mean, it's not a reason to not double up, I don't think. What grade would you give the start of the season so far? For me, a U. Been terrible. Nearly got a Brexit in the poll, yeah. So 53% are saying start Reinders over Saar. I think I would go the other way, but I completely respect it. Was there a reason you didn't swap Palmer last night? He wasn't necessarily going to drop, and I wasn't completely sure about the moves I want to make, but as I said earlier, it was probably a mistake. I probably should have just done it. If you don't fancy Saar, Semenyo, Kudus, Anderson, Reinders, Dangu Tar if you want to take a punt. Saar is tired, maybe. The last time someone said a player was tired, I think was Suj from Planet FPL, who said Antonio looked tired and he scored 4 goals against Norwich. So if you're telling me Saar looks tired, hopefully he gets... I take 3 goals, to be honest. I'm not greedy. I don't need 4. I've ditched Palmer and Gio and bought in Barnes and Wood. Thoughts? Seems fine, especially short term. Do you think Salah will be over 100% effective ownership? Probably yes, because his ownership's quite high in the first place, but probably not by a lot. It might be under, but probably just about over, I'd say. If Eze was there, I'd be up for it. This way, they'll struggle until Pino gets up to speed. Yeah, possibly. I'm not like, put it this way. I'm not buying Mateta and Saar this week, thinking it's a dead cert that they're great options. But Sunderland at home next week, West Ham away in 5, 3 hitting 6, Everton away, Bournemouth home. I think it is. They got a lot of home games after that as well. So take Ollie Watkins off. No. Wood, Saar, or Mateta Dango on wildcard? I think I prefer probably Wood, Saar, I think. Lemon juice on pizza. Surely people don't do that, do they? Buy Eze. I got no interest in Eze right now. Maybe closer to game week 7. Wild, but Salah, Ekitike captain or João Pedro for safety. I don't necessarily think João Pedro's the safe pick over Salah, but I think he's a good alternative. The next budget, Timu Pukki. I mean, we might have some cheap forwards on offer after the break, depending on, transfers and stuff like that. Who knows? Maybe Calvert-Lewin for Leeds will become nailed for 80+ minutes every week. Or Muniz stays at Fulham and he's ahead of Raul Jimenez. Like, there are potential cheap options out there. Thiago at Brentford, by the way. Apparently they're trying to buy Max Bayer or Bayer. I'm not sure which way around it is. I'd have to look that up if he gets signed. So Thiago's minutes might go down soon, but yeah, there could be cheap options afterwards. We don't know what price they're going to put Voltemada in yet. I'm pretty sure it'll be 7.5, but we'll see. Evan Nielsen. That's my get out, by the way. Evan Nielsen's my get out for Strand Larsen. So if I get to next week, okay, couple of things. And again, everyone's team is different. But for me, if I do Palmer and Guiu out for Sarr and Mateta, next week Strand Larsen's got Newcastle away. If he goes to Newcastle and he's got Wolves at home and he doesn't look like he's going to play, Dewsbury Hall's got Villa at home. So if I had to play him, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And I could just do Nico Williams to Munoz. Or I just play Munoz against Arsenal, just put it down to a bad week for him, and use the money on doing Strand Larsen to Evan Nielsen. Oh, the buyer bid was okay. Oh yeah, it was rejected, right? But he might come back for more. So I've got plans for next week. If Strand Larsen becomes a major problem, I could get Evan Nielsen. But I wish I'd gone early on the Palmer transfer in that case, because then I'd have $1 million in the bank instead of 0.9. I could do both Nico Williams to Munoz and Strand Larsen to Evan Nielsen at some point. So again, it was a mistake not moving Palmer early, but I'm not going to keep beating myself up about it. Instead, I'll beat myself up about it in game weeks 4, 5, 6, 7 when I'm missing 0.1 million. Why did I miss this game in the summer? I have no idea. Yeah, I know. Honestly, so FPL is great until like you have to make transfers or when the football starts, and then it's like rubbish. Am I making my moves on stream? Yeah, I'll do them before the deadline. I'm not really trying to build suspense, but I'm going to be sat here for the next hour anyway, so there's no point in me going early, right? What if like we find out that Visser is signing for Newcastle this morning? Then all of a sudden I'm definitely keeping Strand Larsen, you know? Bruno, captain Man United, are going to lose state. Well, if they're going to lose, hopefully they lose like, 8-7 or something, and Bruno's got 6 goals. That'd be nice. I gotta be honest. I'm not sure I put too much money on Bruno scoring 6 goals, but you never know. Cunha in Burma, why? I just think Cunha will be slightly better for goal threat open play. That's about it. And Burma's got set pieces, so you could argue that's a better reason to go for him. And Burma didn't start midweek as well, so his minutes might be better this week. But overall, I prefer Cunha. I already told my wife that I said I usually tell her if there's like a game that I want to watch over the weekend so that I'm not going to be around or whatever. And I told her, so in Ireland, right, if you have all the sports channels, you get one 3 p.m. game on a Saturday. And this week it's Man United. So I told her at 3 o'clock today, the weather's miserable anyway. So I said to her, I probably want to watch the Man United match at 3 and I'm going to captain Bruno. And so by 5 o'clock, I'll know whether my weekend of FPL has been ruined again or not. So I'm going to be watching in real time. No streams or anything. I could do a watch along. Because I got rid of my Sky multi-room, but I got it back. I've got one box back. So I could watch it in real time on stream. Who else is playing at 3? Do I do a watch along for Man United versus... Oh, I don't know if I can take it. Oh, do you know what? There's actually some good games, Wolves versus Everton. So Dewsbury Hall probably comes on for Strand Larsen for me. Brentford against Sunderland. I don't have any players in that game. And then Spurs versus Bournemouth as well. Oh, yeah. Maybe a watch along for Man United. The thing is, if it goes wrong, it would just be horrible. It would just be absolutely horrible if it goes wrong. It's like... People just overreact all the time, so you can imagine what the comments would be like if Palmer blanks. If Bruno blanks. But I could watch it. So I wouldn't be behind or anything. But it would just, honestly, I'll be frustrated from the start, even though I know Bruno's going to play deeper. Palmer, Guiu out, Semenyo, Brennan Johnson, Richarlison. I'm not that interested in Brennan Johnson or Richarlison. I just don't see Richarlison keeping Solanke out longer term. Mark Gorbridge had 150k in his watch long against Grimsby. Really? That is insane. Semenyo is good though. I prefer Semenyo over Brennan Johnson. Bench Verts or Rogers? Verts probably out of those two. The thing is, you say imagine the engagement. There won't actually be that much. Watch-alongs for FPL channels are not that popular, to be honest. If it goes horribly wrong, you're not going to do another one. To be honest, part of the reason I don't do them is because, one, like it's just another... Like, it's just more time spent in front of the computer on a weekend. But they're just not that popular for FPL. Let's all Captain Bruno and suffer together. Just telling my missus I'm watching Andy watch Man United. She'll be fine. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't understand watch-alongs. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I think I don't understand if you've got the option to watch it yourself and you watch the watch-along instead. But I think a lot of people watch both, right? Like, I wouldn't choose to watch someone else watching a game instead of watching the game myself if there was a decision, you know? Would you take a guarantee of 50 points? No, I'm not taking 50 points. No way. Come on, I've got to dream a bit higher than that. Surely. It's commentary, but video commentary. Yeah, fair play. Fair point. Fair point. What do you think of free hit this week? I don't hate it if your team's in a bit of a mess, but is going to look good game week 4 onwards. Soccer Saturday is one big watch. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Palmer and Evan Nielsen out for Elanga and Wood. I don't see much reason to sell Evan Nielsen personally, but I guess it's okay if you've got 2 transfers. Am I sure Bruno's my best captain this week? No. As a person with high anxiety, watching a watch-along of a Liverpool channel feels better than watching the game itself. I can't... Fair enough, right? Obviously, everyone's different. I hate that. I hate not being able to watch it. Like, I'd rather just not know anything about it than listen to it, basically, and not be able to see what's happening. I don't particularly like... Like, I wouldn't listen to a game on a radio, for example. I was in the pub last week, and the Man City Spurs game was on, and I could hear it, but I couldn't see it. And that was just worse than not seeing it, than not knowing anything. Because you can hear the commentary getting excited, but you're not quite sure. Like, if you can hear that, like, Doku's running down the wing, you're thinking, right, well, where's Haaland positioned? Is he likely to get a goal here? I don't want him to score. I don't have him. So I'd rather be able to watch to see where they are on the pitch. There is the flip side, by the way, that if Haaland's in a really good position, then you know it could be disaster about to come. But I'd much rather watch it than just watch someone else or listen, personally. Should I keep Frimpong now? Fund Munoz from a 4.5. I mean, Frimpong's going to miss this week, obviously. He might be out after the break as well, especially if Bradley's back fit. So I'd say Frimpong's probably a sell. Palmer to Sarr and Guiu to Mateta. Is it good? I'm considering exactly the same, so I've got to say it's probably quite good. Semenyo, Sarr or Kudus for Palmer. I would say Semenyo is the best of the 3. But the other 2 are cheaper, so that might play a part in future strategy. Sarr and Kudus, I'm going to say Sarr just about. But I think it's pretty close. Like, Kudus is definitely better this week. Yeah, I understand that, right? Watching the game and watching the watch line. Like, I will sometimes play games and have, a streamer on at the same time. So I completely get that. I'm just saying, if I had the chance to play the game or watch someone, I mean, actually, sometimes maybe I would watch if they're like a pro and I want to learn something. But yeah, anyway, some people like watch along, some people don't. Like everything in life. Some people think it's ridiculous. Some people think it's amazing. We're all allowed a different opinion, but you're not allowed to have the opinion that you should bench Bruno this week, because that's ridiculous. Would you play Van der Ven or Gakpo? Gakpo. Doing Palmer and Krupa Jr. to Semenyo and Wood. Nice. Gives me a selection headache. Bench Sarr or Verts? Oh, probably Sarr. And Tosin against Fulham as well. Or bench Bruce and hope Burnley get a result. So you could bench boost Sar, Tosin, and 2 Burnley. I don't hate that, honestly. Unless you're going to have a much better week. Triple Captain Barnes, I probably wouldn't do that. Palmer and Evan Nielsen, we did that. Yeah, let's all Captain Bruno. Let's all Captain Bruno. Let's all Captain Bruno. For some reason, I'm scared of benching Caicedo. I'm not surprised after last week. I'm not surprised at all. Haaland or Cunha captain? I'd probably go Haaland, but I don't hate Cunha like in any way. Best 4.5 million midfielder. I think the only option really is Josh King, unless someone knows someone else. I don't think there's any others that are really playing right now. Captain Bruno or Wood? I'd go Bruno, but I honestly, for your sanity, you should probably just go Chris Wood. Play 2 out of Van Dijk, Agbadou, Dewsbury Hall, and Van der Ven. Probably, I mean, probably Dewsbury Hall and Agbadou, but I get it right. They're playing against each other. So if you don't want that, Dewsbury Hall and Van der Ven, I suppose. I think Bournemouth will score. I think there's got a good chance of scoring today, though. Konzaparo, Murillo, Juve, Esteve, Sarr, Palmer, Didalula. Should I get Semenyo and Wood for Guillaume and Palmer, or Semenyo and put Van der Ven for Juve and start an 11? Wait. Should I Pedro Watkins? Should I get Semenyo and Wood for Guillaume and Palmer, or Semenyo and put... Oh, so don't make the second move. No, I'd probably just get Wood in that case. I think if you got 2 free transfers. If it's for a hit, then I would just play Van der Ven. Mitoma and Palmer out for Semenyo and Cunha. I don't think there's a massive need to sell Mitoma specifically, to be honest. Just Palmer to Cunha is probably fine. What's Bruno got to do today to make it up on the wall? Hat-trick. Hat-trick and he's up. It's not going to happen. Ruta, Palmer, Guiu to Sarr, Kudus, Wood, -4. Yeah, I quite like that. Because Ruta might not play. Yeah, I kind of like that. Yeah. Have you ever turned the game off because an FPL asset you didn't have did amazing? I suspect I probably have done that, in all honesty, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I've done that. Like, I probably wouldn't turn off after like 10 minutes, but if it's just like... And I don't think that's a good thing, by the way. I do think FPL... I do think it brings enjoyment to some games, but I also do think it can put you off others. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. But yes, it probably has happened, if I'm completely honest. Just like so sick of seeing a player I don't have do really well. I just can't watch it anymore. Am I concerned that Bruno might not start? Right, come on. I'm going to have to start muting people in a minute. Who would you bench out of Aina, Yoro, or Porro? Oof. Part of me wants to say Porro, but I don't think you can. Probably Yoro out of those. Aitnori or Kukurea, Reinders or Hudson-Odoi. Reinders and Kukurea for safety, but I do like Aitnori if he keeps playing. Bruno Fernandes is going to play central midfield again. Like, let's just make that clear. That is his position now under Amorim. The only way that changes is if the manager changes. Which we might not be too far away from. Made early transfers and have Saka still. Worth a hit for Cunha or Bruno. If not them, any other mid's worth it. If you can bench Saka, you could just bench him rather than take the hit. But otherwise, yeah, I guess take a 1 week punt on Man United. I think that's probably better than... Who else would like Kudus? But I'd rather just get the Man United player in that case. Would you go Rodgers to Kudus? No. No chance. I have read the rest of your message, by the way, but no. Given Newcastle injuries, play Barnes or Ndoye. Probably Barnes for me. Yasser, thank you. Would you do Palmer and Evan Nielsen to Semenyo and Wood? I probably wouldn't sell Evan Nielsen. That feels like such a luxury. Yeah, I think I would sell Palmer. I just don't think I would sell Evan Nielsen as part of it, to be honest. I tend to get more annoyed if a player that you don't expect to do well and say if you're not owning, say, Haaland any back. Yeah, so obviously I didn't want Haaland to do well last week, but I completely agree. I was more worried about what Reinders might do than Haaland because I'd made the decision with Haaland not to go for him, so it is what it is. Whereas Reinders is very accessible at his price point, and so many people own him. And there was so many comments after Game Week 1 about him that I couldn't bear to see him score any points. So I was more worried last week about Reinders than Haaland. This week I'm not sure who I'm more worried about. I guess Reinders still to a certain extent. But at this point, I'm also pretty worried about João Pedro, Chris Wood. There's a lot of high ownership players I don't have with good fixtures. Zolan, thank you. When is Clivert back? I think he was in the squad last week, wasn't he? Or sorry, I think he was in the squad midweek. I need to check that though. Bournemouth versus Brentford. Clivert was... Did he start? Oh, he started. So he's back. Yeah, I thought he was in the squad for one of the more recent games. I don't think he was in the squad for the Premier League game, but it was back midweek. Who to start, Ekitike or Sarr? Probably Ekitike. Hold Palmer would play Dorgu and Reinders. That feels okay to me. Bench Rodgers, Wirtz or Reinders. Reinders probably, but there's part of me that really does think it should be Wirtz. Play Semenyo or Sarr with two Spurs defenders. Semenyo. Bench boost with Dubravka, Xhaka, Reinildo, Anderson. Sunderland have Brentford at home. Yeah, I'd probably do that, I think. Again, when are you going to get a better bench than that? And by the way, when I say that, you can go and look at future weeks to see when you've got a better bench. But if it's like game week 6, 7, 8, whenever it might be, and it's only a little bit better, I would always side with just using it now because you might get to that game week and have loads of issues. So, again, if you've got a pretty good bench, you should probably get it used. Yeah, Clivert will get minutes. He might start, but at the bare minimum, he's going to be a sub and come on. I did Palmer to Sarr last night. Mark Gio out to Mateta or João Pedro. With Jackson news, I'm thinking João Pedro is a better option than start of the season. Free hit 6. Free hit 6, I really like Mateta, honestly. So I'd go him. But I don't mind João Pedro. I don't think Nicholas Jackson has much of a... Well, we knew Nicholas Jackson was going anyway, right? I guess now it's confirmed. It makes it a bit easier, but we knew he wasn't going to be playing. Need to replace Saka and Palmer. Which option do you prefer? Kudus and Stack and Fulkrug to Haaland. Kudus and Mbermo got Salah already. Kudus and Stack's alright, I think. Honestly. And it deals with Fulkrug as well. You have your question in the stream thumbnail. That's because I'm thinking about bringing him in. But I'm probably going to go Mateta. Is double burning defense genius? I mean, it was last week. Don't know about this week. It wasn't genius last week. Relax. I'm not calling myself a genius, people. Chill out. Chill out. Do you think sacrificing 4 points to sell Palmer and get a better midfielder at the moment? I think it depends who else you would have to play. I think some people can justify a hit for Palmer, but not everyone. So, like, I don't know. If I had this team and I was having to take a hit to not play Joachim Andersen, maybe I would do it, but even then I wouldn't be completely sure. So I think you've got to have, like, if you've got, like, Ruta, for example, who's probably not going to play, and Strand Larsen's probably not going to play, and you've got Palmer red flagged, and maybe you've got Saka, sure, -4 all over the place, but depends how many issues you got. Sarr versus Kudus and Wood versus Mateta. I think Kudus versus Sarr is quite close, but I'm just taking Sarr because of the Sunderland game next week and then West Ham afterwards. Wood versus Mateta, with no free hit, Wood's probably better, but if you're free hit 6, I quite like Mateta. If you're free hit 4, by the way, Wood's great. I would go Wood over Mateta. Would you do... And also, personally, in fact, let me just double check this. What are the... Oh, yeah, Forest fixtures longer term. Like, yeah, so when you get to like game week 7, Newcastle away, Chelsea home, Bournemouth away, Man United home's okay, I guess. Leeds at home's good. Liverpool away's tough. The fixtures just get a bit worse. Whereas for Mateta, so if I just let me just put him in here. Yeah, so for Mateta, short term, quite nice, right? Sunderland at home, West Ham away. Liverpool at home's not good, but if you're free hitting that week, then he's got Everton away, Bournemouth at home. Arsenal away sucks, but in this period here, honestly, the fixtures are not that bad. If you forget about the Arsenal game for a second, which is bad, you've got 4 home games against Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, and Man United, and the 2 away games outside of Arsenal are Wolves and Burnley. So I quite like Mateta as a long-term pick. Now, it's worth saying, Palace might well sign another forward, potentially. But I think Mateta's first choice, and I think he's on penalties now. Eze's not there. But of course, Eze being out doesn't help Palace. So it's close between the two. But I think Mateta's got a better chance of staying in my team longer term. So I'd probably go Mateta, and I'm probably going to free hit 6. I've got to keep saying probably because I'm not completely locked into that. But it does seem like there's good reason to use it in 6 for my team. It also lets me get Munoz next week. I can free hit him out. He's a nice long-term pick. Tarkowski or Milenkovic, Palmer for Eze. Eze I just would have no interest in right now. Milenkovic for this week. And probably, if you're just buying as well, Dewsbury Hall or Reinders for sure. I love the way it says, PS, make great content. Almost, hopefully you mean you make great content, in which case, I'm not sure that's true, but thank you. But maybe it is just PS, make great content. Could you please just start making some good content? In which case, I respect it. Palmer for Grealish. Grealish isn't really high up, but I think he's fine. Captain Wood or João Pedro? Wood. Palmer and Saka out for Elanga, captain and Semenyo. I don't mind Elanga and Semenyo. I probably wouldn't captain Elanga, but sure if you want to. Start Strand Larson or Reinders. Probably Reinders. Cunha and Mateta or Sheshko and Sarr. Cunha and Mateta. Van der Ven or Van Dijk. Van der Ven. I heard Barnes will miss out. I've not heard that from anywhere. Would you do Marmoush, Kudus, Barnes, Sarr for a -4? I wouldn't do a -4. I'd just keep him, I think. Bench boost to Bravka, Reinders, Richards, Estev. It's close, but again, are you going to have a better week than that? Reinders is fine. I don't know. I think you probably will have a better bench. Like game week 5, for example, Dubravka and Estev against Forest at home. Reinders against Arsenal away, but the defenders are better. And Richards has got West Ham away. So I think for you, game week 5 might be better. But go and look at game week 5. What will your actual bench be? Jack Johnson in a Forest kit on your graphic. Huh? Johnson. Brennan Johnson. NUFC Will 1982. Honestly, that guy has put out so much incorrect news. Now, maybe this time he knows, right? But I'm telling you now, he has put out so much incorrect news. Do not follow him for advice. And I've had info off him before, and it was correct. But I have a feeling he was just guessing, and he got a few guesses right. Terrible info. And look, Barnes might be out, but I probably wouldn't make any transfers based on what they've said. It honestly is not in the know whatsoever. Just guesses a ton of stuff, sometimes gets it right, deletes other stuff. I find that really weird, by the way. Why do people do that? I mean, why do people do anything in life, I guess? I guess people just really want followers that much that they would just fake stuff until they get them. Who would you bench? Verts, Indai, or Reinders? Probably Reinders, but again, I hate saying that. Reinders is probably better than Verts, but I think I would bench Reinders. Did Palmer to Elanga, but afraid to captain him? Yeah, I think that's fine. Captain João Pedro Salah or -4 Verts to Bruno? Probably João Pedro, probably Salah, but I think João Pedro is also good. Elanga would probably be the last on my list of those. Then Palmer to Fernandes. Oh my God, what have we done? Welcome to a world of pain. Palmer and Dewsbury Hall to Semenyo and Dango. Reinders would be perma bench. No, I probably wouldn't make 2 transfers to perma bench Reinders. He's good, right? Nikhil got 2 free transfers on Palmer, Strand Larson, Guillaume and Watkins. Benches Anderson and Estev. That feels familiar. Plan is Palmer and Guillaume to Sarr/Anderson plus Mateta and bench boost 5 free hit 6. That's my plan too. Should we make any forward transfer this week? Example, if Isak and Strand Larson stay, wouldn't we want Ekatiko over Mateta? Yes, but also if I had Mateta against Sunderland at home next week instead of Ekatike against Burnley, I'm probably not massively concerned. I'd prefer Ekatike, but not enough to just not get Mateta now, if that makes sense. Captain Wood or Cunha? Wood. Elanga or Kudus? Free hit in game week 6. Kudus, I think. Do I captain Haaland or Bruno this week? Haaland, I think. Yeah. I mean, there is part of me that still thinks Bruno's better, but I don't think I would be able to do it at this point. Is team value more or less relevant now that we have chips in both halves? I think it's still relevant. Is it more relevant? Maybe not, but I already think it was quite relevant, you know? That being said, I didn't move early last night and I probably should have done. Still thinking about a hit? No, I don't think so, because I think there is a chance Strand Larsen stays at Wolves, and if he does, I'm more than happy to hold him, to be honest with you. I would bench Reinders over Wirtz, by the way. I'm pretty sure I would still play Wirtz. I'm not prepared to write him off that quick, although it doesn't look great, I'll be honest. What do you think about Palmer to Saar from Crystal Palace and 4 million in the bank with no transfers? You could delay your move to next week and decide, yeah, because if Isak doesn't move, maybe you do want Ekatike. I just don't trust United enough to captain Bruno. Honestly, it's fine. You don't have to captain him. I will be regretting it straight after the deadline. Straight at 3 p.m. I'll be regretting it, and 4 o'clock I'll be regretting it, and at 5 p.m. I'll be regretting it. So, if Marmoush starts, would you bench Mateta for him? Yes, probably. Richarlison a good 1 week punt if he starts. Yes, but he will get subbed early. Like he's going to come off around the 70th minute. So if you're on a free hit, I wouldn't have him. Oh, Bobby Manzi's just tweeted and said, exclusive. This is only for Mateta people, by the way. Eddie Nketiah is ahead of schedule in his hamstring recovery. Palace first fit, he would be out until November. But there is optimism he will be back in early October. Could impact striker plans in the final 2 days of the window. So maybe they won't buy a new striker if Nketiah is going to be back earlier, which means Mateta should keep playing. Would you agree this year 100 million seems a lot for FPL? There is not much premium players. I mean, that's because of injuries though, right? I actually think if everyone was fit, it'd be quite hard to make a team you're super happy with because you'd have to leave some good players out. Like, I'm going to sell Palmer. I still don't have Yorkeresh. I still don't have Haaland. Like, Palmer and Saka will be back at some point. Start Strand Larsen in my lineup. What am I going to do with him? I'm probably going to play him, but I really do think he's just going to miss out. I have either Esteve, Anderson, or Juve as my third defender. Who would you play on minus? I wouldn't -4. I think I would play Juve, honestly. Do Elanga or Kudus? Oh yeah, I did that one. Did that one. 37 minutes, by the way, until the deadline. Don't forget to make your transfers. Preferably go back in time and do them before Palmer drops in price. Like I didn't do. Are we making... I don't know when you're going to make changes. I'm probably going to make my changes close to the deadline. Would you start Reinders or Semenyo? Semenyo. Delay for Richarlison. I'm not sure what you mean. Is Gakpo to Salah worth doing? Probably at some point, yes. I would say, if that's your only way to get Salah. Ndoye is being slept on. I know, but he's already only played 70 minutes in the last game. They've signed so many... Like, McAtee's coming into that team as well, right? They've got Hudson-Odoi. They've signed another forward as well. I just can't be dealing with the minutes of players like that. Maybe Ndoye's just amazing. The next 3 fixtures are good, but I don't see me going there, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather go for Dango Utara at 6 million. Like, he's going to be nailed, I think, for Brentford. There's part of me that keeps going to say Bournemouth. Is Xavi Simons in FPL? No, but he really should be. Like, I don't know how it works with FPL, but I think it's mad that they're not just there, like, pricing players, like, at this time of the window. I think it's crazy. Like, he's officially been signed by Spurs. I know he's not going to play this week, so it doesn't matter, but it'd be like... For example, if they price him at 6.5, you might be thinking, well, hang on a second, I really do want him in game week 4 onwards. Or they price him at 7.5 and you think, well, I'm not that bothered. It would be nice to know. Like, I understand that they can't price Voltemada because he's not officially a Newcastle player, but they can price Xavi Simons. He's not going to be 8. No chance. I reckon 7. 7.5 absolute top. I'm going to say 7. Your price drop says Barnes, but think it should say Bowen. Not get Mark on the phone. Mark, what's going on? Maybe he's watching. He's probably not. Start Reinders or Semenyo. Semenyo bench. And we are back, I think. I think we are back. I can't see the chat. Hang on. Okay, I think we're back. Christ, my internet, honestly. It's not even cheap, this internet, either. It's supposed to be good. Like, the speeds are good when it works. Okay, we're back. Was that Mark? It might have been. It may well have been. Car stream, no chance. I mean, maybe if I need to get more. I need to get better internet. Honestly, so frustrating. Okay, is that an authentic or replica top? Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean. Like, it's not. I've bought it. What's like? Is replica a fake of the ones they sell in shops? Is that what you mean? Like, it's authentic. I bought it in a shop. That's what you mean. Should I do Palmer Guiu to Wood and Doy? I probably personally wouldn't buy in Doy. Would you prefer Rogers or Saar? Probably Rogers, but the saving could be handy for Saar. João Pedro trying to take down the stream. Possibly. Possibly. Anderson or Reinders? I mean, if you want to go absolutely safe, you buy Anderson, but I think Reinders could end up being better value, to be honest. Get a business/enterprise plan. They are focused on uptime and consistency. It's just every now and again I get like a slight drop. It's so annoying. But that is what it is. Is what it is. Tarkovsky for Bradley the GOAT. You don't own Bradley, surely. Rogers, Kudus, Verts, and Reinders bench one. Reinders, I think, just about. Okay. I've basically... Oh, hang on a sec. Let me see if we're back. Right. Right, are we back now properly? So... Basically, I've got a modem downstairs and I've got a wire that goes out of the house up to my office upstairs, comes in through the wall, obviously, and then I've got a splitter so that I've got Ethernet connection on my computer and PlayStation and stuff like that. But I've actually just pulled it out of the splitter and I've just got it straight into the computer now. So I'm hoping that is part of the problem, that it was going through an Ethernet splitter. But well, it's called is it not still called a modem? A router, I guess, whatever. So hopefully it'll stay up now. Yeah, it's so freaking annoying, honestly. Okay. If it goes down again, I'm calling the internet guys later. Larson to Wood, Palmer to Saar. Yep, like it. Pick who? Richarlison or João Pedro? João Pedro and Barnes or Grealish? Barnes, I think, short term. João Pedro or Wood in. I'm on free hit 6 now. Mateta. Probably... I still think Wood, to be honest. Current midfielder is Saka, Palmer, Salah and Giant, Reinders, Cunha and Semenyo in for Saka and Palmer. Would leave money to do Guy to Ekatike. Nice, I like the plan. Who should I captain? Salah, João Pedro, Watkins or Semenyo? Salah probably. Palmer to Salah and Fulcrook to João Pedro with 2 free transfers. Looks good. Who would you captain? João Pedro or Salah? Salah. Right, I think that's all the super chats caught up with. By the way, if my internet goes down, I've got a phone. I've got mobile, so I'll be able to make my transfers. But I will have to do it soon, I think. Don't want to leave it so I'm like 1 minute messing about on my phone. Mental, but Guillaume might start based on midweek. I don't think he will, but I think he will eventually start, or hopefully will, but it's not a guarantee. Start Bowen or Matoma. Probably Bowen. Take a -4 if the internet goes down again. No, I'm not taking a -4. So if Solanke comes into the 11, that would mean Richarlison would be out, or maybe he can play on the wing, or maybe number 10. I think Richarlison just goes out. I think he's number 9. So if Solanke plays, Richarlison will be off. Get them done now. We've still got a bit of time, 25 minutes. No panic just yet. Who do you think is the best sub £8 million midfielder? Semenyo out of those. Buy Murillo or Munoz on free hit 6. I'd still be tempted to get Murillo because he's got a much better fixture this week. I think you deserve a chicken roll. I just realised I've not had breakfast or anything yet. Although that is normal. I usually eat straight after the deadline stream. So yeah, chicken roll would have to come a lot later. I haven't had a chicken roll for ages, to be honest with you. Start Matoma, I know, or Reinders. What are you saying I know for? I think Matoma's an okay pick. I'd probably go Matoma. Home to City, yeah. Over Brighton away. I think so. Lars, did I miss super chat? I'm not sure I did. Oh, sorry. Free hit, no Man United, Newcastle, and only 2 Forest players. Oh, should you free hit? Not necessarily, to be honest. I don't think you need loads from those teams as like a priority. Guy for Mateta or just play Dewsbury Hall. Honestly, you can do either. I don't. If you want to save the transfer and just wait for info, I think that's fine. I mean, Mateta is better than Dewsbury Hall this week, of course, but I think it's more than reasonable if you want to hold the transfer. People keep saying Barnes out in the chat because there's a Newcastle account that's tweeted it, but honestly, that Newcastle account is not worth listening to. Reinders or Verts, I've answered a ton of times. Reinders, I would bench. Supermax or McDonald's? Ooh, probably Supermax these days, you know. I'm fully converted. Better chips. Better chips. The chicken's good as well. Like a 5 tender meal. Transfer your router. Yeah, transfer my internet provider. Hopefully it's better now. The thing is, it comes out from the modem / router, goes into like a little box outside the house, back into a box, and now it's straight into the computer. So hopefully that fixes it. Maybe it was just the splitter. But I haven't got anything else in here that the problem is if I do a watch along later, then I need to split the Ethernet so I can plug the Skybox in as well. But right now I've only got a computer in here. No Skybox, no PlayStation. Bowen to Wood / Mateta for a -4 or hold. I'd hold. Who to start, Burn or Romero? Ooh. Romero, I think. Post transfers, I may have Sarr, Anderson, and Reinders and Strand Larson. Who to bench this week? Those 4, Strand Larson, probably. He's not going to start anyway. I don't think the watch long will happen. I don't think I've got it in me, to be honest. It's pronounced as a router. Nah, is it? Is that not just American? Router. Luta. Exclusive. Wolves have a policy that obliges players to sleep at the hotel before games, even hungry. Is that please tell me someone hasn't tweeted that as an exclusive bit of news. Oh, Cherky is out, apparently, of the Man City game for Brighton. I mean, Reinders is going to play as like a number 10 today, isn't he? I can just see it. It's gonna be like, oh, he's going to play as a number 10. He's going to absolutely kill me. Bench boost worth it with the Brad converts, Munoz and Juve. It's not bad, I would say. Again, will you have a better one anytime soon? Palmer, I really think with bench boost, people have got to look at their own teams. There's no point me saying to you, don't bench boost because you can use it in game week 8 because your team might not be any good in game week 8. You've really got to go through and just see how your team is going to look. It's very difficult for me to, like, yes, there'll be some people with just a terrible bench that shouldn't bench boost, but some of you are going to be in a position where you could or couldn't, like where it might be good, might not. It depends how it's going to look later on. Like, and your transfers will dictate how that bench is going to look later as well. So it's pretty difficult for me to say whether you're definitely going to have a better one. All I can say is, are you going to have a better bench? If not, yes, use it. Palmer, Fulkrug, Ruta, Giu, Tassar, Mateta, Dango. -8. Oh, God, I'd almost be thinking about wildcarding. I guess that's a don't hate it because 3 of those players are probably not going to play. Live a little. Reinders is a way more fun pick than Anderson. Well, I'm not buying either, I don't think. Palmer and Giu to Sar and Wood or Semenyo and Mateta. Sar and Wood, I think. No, I think I'd use transfers. Richarlison captaincy. I mean, he's on penalties when he's on the pitch, but he's almost certainly going to get subbed around 70, 75 minutes. Is that really what you want from your captain? A lot of people trusting Bruno. He's been very, very average so far. Ruben might play him deep. There's no might about it. That's his position now. I don't know. We don't have to keep having this conversation. Bruno Fernandes under Ruben Amorim is no longer a number 10. He's a central midfielder. We knew that in pre-season. It shouldn't be a shock. That's where he's going to continue to play in this system. And I don't think Amorim's going to change it anytime soon. Double Spurs or double Forest defense this week? Forest. Like, definitely. Much better fixture, I would say, for a clean sheet. I have 4 attackers in the Villa Palace game. Is that a problem? It will be if it finishes 0-0. 75 minutes of Richarlison is better than 90 minutes of Bruno. Sure. Who to bench out of Gakpo, Sarr and Reinders? Probably Reinders for me. It's quite close. Bought Barnes in for a hit. Should I take him out for another hit with the injury rumours? Honestly, stop listening to people that don't have info, please. Like, maybe Barnes is injured, but I would not base it off of Will, NUFC, 1982, or whatever their handle is. He doesn't have info. He just guesses a lot and deletes stuff that's wrong. Elanga or Barnes for Verts? Barnes for me. My team looks very bad. No City, no Arsenal. Yeah, it's terrible. Njai, Larson to Wood, King. No, I don't like that, to be honest. Yeah, not sure about that. Nice jersey. Bench, Verts or Rice? It must be Rice. Probably, yeah. Then at 24 months, thank you. 2 years, boom. Captain João Pedro, Haaland, Cunha in Burma, Haaland. Anderson versus Rodgers, leaning Anderson cheaper. Yes, if you're buying, that might give you more money for other moves later on. I don't hate that at all. I think if you had Rodgers, you're probably not selling, but I think it's okay not to buy him. Honestly, it's going to be rubbish if they blank again because then it's Everton away next week. I think like the Villa fixtures were good, but the real good ones were at the end. I think I said that at one point in pre-season. I did. I had like I think it was on the video I recorded on Thursday evening before the deadline. And I said I'm even at the point of overthinking where I'm looking at Villa's fixtures thinking it's the ones at the end we really like, not the ones at the start. But yeah, you got to keep him, basically. Just off on a tangent there. Make your transfers. I will make them before the deadline. Don't panic. Don't panic. Relax, people. Haaland or Bruno captain. Haaland bench 1, Verts, Yorkeresh, Rodgers or Reinders. Reinders probably. If you don't want to bench him, then Verts. Bring in Cunha and Semenyo or Bruno and Elanga. Cunha and Semenyo, I think. Rate my wildcard. Sanchez, Dubravka, Van der Ven, Kukurea, Porro, Rodon, Munoz, Semenyo, Sasa. Yorkeresh, okay, nice. I would just think about maybe one more Arsenal player if you could, like a defender, if you can. But otherwise, yeah, it looks fine, I think. I don't own any of the main captaincy options. Watkins. Watkins is fine if you don't have like Salah or Haaland or Man United player or João Pedro or Wood, I guess, yeah? Should we prioritize player value or points? I mean, points is generally what you need to win. So, yeah. Like, if there's two players really close and you're genuinely not sure, you could just go for the player that's not dropping or going up in price, etc. But, I mean, generally you want points, right? That's the aim of the game. I appreciate the way I play it. You don't tend to get many, but... Palmer and Guiu for Dango and Watkins or Sarr and Wood. Sarr and Wood, I think. That's really close, though. Am I buying your crash? I don't think so. Start Rodgers or Reinders. Rodgers. Sell Verts for a -4. No, I don't think so. Raul Jimenez to Maenda or Thiago as a punt. Thiago, I think. Neither are necessarily amazing long term, but I think I would go for Thiago. It would be pretty funny if we all start, like a lot of us start with Guiu, we sell him, and then he starts for Sunderland. That would be quite funny. Greg's or Walkmans? What the hell? Like, is in like what you used to listen to tapes on? Or is there like a shop called Walkmans, which seems very unlikely? Who's the best captain, Cunha or Wood? I think honestly, if I had that choice, I think I'd go Cunha, but probably Chris Wood. Watkins or Richarlison captain? Probably Watkins, I think. Although Richarlison's got penalties, Watkins doesn't necessarily have them. Tielemans or Reinders? I'd probably go Reinders, I think. Strand Larson to Yorkresh or Guiu to Wood for the second transfer. Matesta's the other striker. I think I would just get Yorkresh in place and just leave him in for a while. Did Palmer to Semenyo, nice. Palmer to Sarr / Anderson and Guiu to Wood, Mateta, Yorkresh. Yeah, that's basically what I'm deciding. I'm probably going to go Sarr and Mateta, but Anderson and Yorkresh is also fine. Anderson and Mateta is also fine as well, especially if you're free hit 6. Yeah, Guiu could end up starting eventually. It wouldn't surprise me. If it's this week, I mean, that's just hilarious. Okay, let's just for a second say that Guiu's starting this week. Right, I then reckon I would do Palmer and Strand Larson to Sarr and Yorkresh, I think. Because I'd be able to afford that. And I could just play Guiu over Dewsbury Hall. So if there's any Sunderland fans, got some info on who's starting today, I'd love to know. If Guiu's starting, maybe I could just sell Strand Larson instead. You tempted to transfer Verts for a hit? No, it's definitely not for Gakpo. Thoughts on Gibbs White? Good differential. He's an okay differential, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would expect Maenda to start as well. I always kind of thought that Guiu would probably not get many minutes until after the break. But it's a positive that he's come off the bench and that he scored midweek as well. Captain Haaland, Cunha, and Burma or Wood. I'd probably put them in roughly the order I'd probably go Haaland, then Wood, then Cunha. Bench 1, Agbadu, Tosin, 8 Nuri. Probably Agbadu out of those. With Cherky missing out, are you interested in bringing Reinders in? I was already interested in him, to be honest. Am I more interested in him than Sarr? I'm not so sure. I just think Reinders is going to be such a good option. So maybe I should bring him in. Maybe I'm going to maybe I'm really going to regret not doing it. Start 1, Hickey, Gakpo, Reinders. Who is in? I don't even know who Hickey is. Is that Hickey from Brentford? Is there a Hickey at Brentford? Is that who we're talking about here? We're talking. It's Aaron Hickey, right? Is that who we're talking about? You've really stumped me on that one. I mean, surely you bench Hickey, no? Okay, it is Aaron Hickey. Yeah, I guess I would bench him. Have exact funds to go Reinders for Dewsbury Hall minus for DBH. Is that Dewsbury Hall? Who's DBH? I don't get why you would sell Reinders. I certainly don't get why you'd sell him for a -4. That makes no sense to me. Play one defender, Anderson, Goodmanson, Juve. I think I would go Juve, honestly, out of those. Cunha and Reinders for Palmer and Dewsbury Hall, or Cunha and Byrne for Palmer and Wan-Bissaka. I'd probably go for the two attackers, I think. Bench one, Njai, Sarr, or Reinders. God, probably Reinders. Probably Reinders. Any last minute news? Not that I've seen so far. Zero credible information, I would say, at the moment. It's probably the best way to put it. Yeah, I'm not going to roll. I'm not going to roll my transfer. I don't get this rolling is more valuable. I've got so many issues in my team right now. If Palmer was fit and Strand Larson wasn't maybe moving to Newcastle and was fully fit as well, I probably would roll, but I'm not. That's not what's happening here. Playing Jai or Verts? Probably in Jai, I think. No chance you'd bench Reinders. It depends who for, right? If Reinders plays number 10, he's going to get a double digit. I'm actually thinking get him for a -4 and bench Verts. Yeah, -4 to bench Verts. I don't understand that. Johnson or Enzo captain? Johnson out of the two, I guess. Marmouche number 10, Pet Masterclass. Oh, I don't know. I think Reinders will play. I don't think there's any doubts about that, to be honest. Start Gakpo or Reinders. Gakpo for me, I think. Start Verts and Reinders, or start one and play Mateta. I'd play Mateta and Verts probably. But again, if you want to play Reinders over Verts, you absolutely should. I get the frustration with Verts. Watkins, Mateta, or Wood captain? Wood, I think. How many are Captain Watkins this week? Not many, I would say. Is Verts a good captain as a differential, or just that really wouldn't captain? I really wouldn't captain Verts. That seems a bit crazy. That team's pretty bad. I'd wildcard half of it out. I mean, I probably would as well, but it doesn't mean a wildcard's worth it. -4. Utara, Sarr, sell Xhaka, or play Dewsbury Hill. Got both. I probably wouldn't take a -4. All right, 9 minutes. I got to make my moves in a second. Or in a few minutes. Oh, I'm tired. Van der Ven or Tarkovsky? I'd probably play Tarkovsky, I think. So good for defensive contributions. No Strand Larson. Like, it's looking pretty good. Down. He's now saying Alanga doesn't start. Who? Oh my god, just block these people. Honestly, why do people follow people that just don't have info? Haaland or Bruno captain? I'm going to say Haaland, although I'd probably go Bruno. Here's where my internet crashes. Hopefully not. I've been saying all stream, I'm probably just going to get Sarah Mateta. Relax. I'm going to make my transfers like in another 5 minutes. Just chill out, people. You're stressing more than me. It's my team. Start 8 Nori or Reinders. Although I'd maybe find a way to start both if you could. On wildcard, Morgan Gibbs White and Burma, or Bruno and Anderson until game week 8. Bruno and Anderson, I think. Why do people still believe in Bruno? We don't. We're just idiots, you know? Why is Palmer in my 11 still? I'm going to sell him in a minute. Chill, people. Chill. Maybe I could just get Reinders and Mateta. Get Reinders instead of Saar. He's just going to... I honestly, Reinders doing my end. He's just going to keep starting. I'm just going to keep putting it off. I could always get him later. It'll be like 6.5 million. Pedro or Salah captain. Salah, I think, just about. Am I sure about buying 2 players from Europe, Burden, Palace? Ish, yeah. I tend to avoid having players against each other in my game week. For example, I've got Sarah in this week, but keep him and Gay on the bench so I've got Watkins cash. It depends. I mean, that's fine, depending on who you're benching them for, right? Dango goes turbo, potentially. Captain Haaland, Bruno, Acuna. Haaland, I think. My team currently has no Haaland, Salah, Saka, or Palmer. My bank balance is good. Nice. Should you take a -4? Depends who you're selling. Depends who you're buying. Marlon or Anderson if Marlon starts. Marlon, but he probably won't, right? Unless you've got that info. Captain Bruno, Cunha, or João Pedro. Cunha, Bruno, then Cunha, then João Pedro, I think. Larsen's pretty much out, yeah, Strand Larsen. Sounds like he wasn't at the hotel, the team hotel. Sounds like he's done, unfortunately. Super frustrating, by the way. Super frustrating. Switch Palmer to Semenyo and Larson to Wood. I think if I was selling Strand Larsen, I'd probably just get Yorkeresh. So I could get Sar. I don't know what to do. I'm probably gonna buy Sar and wish I bought Reinders. Is probably what's gonna happen. Start Anderson or Bowen. Bowen, I think. How will the Churky news affect Marmouche? Honestly, I don't even know. I generally don't know. Marmouche might get benched, and they might start Doku, and Oscar Bob might start again, right? Savinio's out, so he's not going to play. Like, there's every chance Marmouche just doesn't start again, like game week 1. I don't know if Churky would have started anyway, to be honest with you. The FPL site's down. Hopefully not. Then I really am screwed. Doesn't look like it for me. Honestly, I completely get it. If you want to start Reinders over Verts, then please do. Honestly, it's a really good choice. I don't know if I would definitely do it, but I would massively think about it. I'll say this. I think most people watching this that have Reinders and Verts, I think they'll be happier playing Reinders. So you should just play Reinders, honestly. It seems crazy to say that, like benching Verts already, but I get it. I completely get it. I think most people should play Reinders. Would I do that? Not so sure. Bruno would captain Bruno. Would serve you right for leaving it this late. People get so angry. It's so funny to see. Start Verts or Kudus? Kudus for sure. Bench on Verts, Rogers, Yorkeresh, or Dewsbury Hall. Probably Dewsbury Hall in that case. Come on, Bruno. I've also captained him. Honestly, Bruno captain's going to kill us. Anderson or Kudus? Kudus. Kudus. Is Delap expected to play? Is he a good option for Giu? I think Delap will play, yeah, but I wouldn't buy him. I think once Palmer's back, you've got João Pedro starting number 9 as well. I haven't made my transfers yet, but I'm thinking about doing them now. I'm gonna get Mateta. I'm definitely gonna get Mateta, I think, over Yorkeresh. I think. I don't know whether I might just buy Reinders for Palmer instead of Saar. Can I really buy Reinders though? I just don't see him getting benched anytime soon. I just do not see it. And the fixtures are pretty good. I could just put myself out of my misery and get Reinders. I think I'm going to get Saar, though. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Saar. Just get Saar and Mateta, don't overthink it. I don't think it's overthinking, right? Reinders is a really good option. Start Verts or Anderson Verts, probably. But again, it is pretty close. You went from 90k last week to 1.9 million. Do you know what? It could be worse. You could be 7.46 million like me. Would I get Hickey? Maybe. Would I maybe get Hickey? I don't know if Saar really... yeah. Probably. Yeah, I've got Mateta and Saar. I've done it on the other screen. I'm going to refresh in a second. I've got Mateta and Saar. They're in. Dewsbury Hall on the bench, but Strand Larson will not play, I don't think. Yeah, I've just made them. I've just made my transfers there, Mateta and Saar. Let me refresh in just a sec. Elanga's not out. Come on. Come on. Captain Pedro and just realised it's the early kickoff. I hope the early kickoff curse happens, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Right. Let me just refresh this. There we go. Job done. Dewsbury Hall's going to come on for Strand Larson. I love everyone saying I made the moves hours ago. You can literally go on the FPL page when it launches with my team ID 44 and you can see when I made the move. It's going to say like 10:57 or 10:58. Yeah, it should show you. So this idea that I would do it an hour ago, I literally can't, you can't hide that. It should show on your transfer page what time you made a transfer. Captain Bruno. Christ almighty. I'm not looking forward to this deadline again. Again. Give the stream a like. Hit that subscribe button before you all run off. I know you're all running off. Just do it now. Just hit it now. Subscribe right now. Hit like right now. Go on. Go on. We're locked in. My team ID is 44, yes. I had 24 last year, 44. I'm slipping in rank and team ID. I'm just absolutely washed. I'm too old for this game. I'm too old. I can't keep up. It's a young man's game. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. How have I captained Bruno again? No, not again. I don't think did I captain Bruno at all last season? I don't think I did. I enjoy trying to guess the song you're humming. Which okay, what do you think it is right now? I don't know what I was humming before. Yeah, I'm too old. Can't keep up with this. Palace were rubbish in both games versus Fredrikstad. They will struggle big time. Yeah, quite possibly. You definitely did. Definitely did what? Dam Busters? No. Simpsons? No. Captain Bruno's United Sport is one way to destroy your mental state. It's already gone. Don't worry about it. It's already gone. Crazy Frog, no. Fleetwood Mac, no. Phoenix, no. The FPL site updates pretty quickly these days, to be honest. I don't think it'll take that long until it's back up. It is it's Ash I'm humming. Burn baby burn. Feeder? No. Dave, can't say Ash now. Yeah, I know Strand Larson's pretty much out. I've got Dewsbury Hall ready to come off the bench. There's just something about that team that I absolutely hate. Honestly, there's just something about this team that I just absolutely hate. But not enough to wildcard. Not enough to wildcard. Honestly, the worst thing about Bruno Fernandes, for people still going on about it, is he's going to be in my team for a while. I've already looked at my future transfers and he never gets sold. So game week 4, I'm probably more likely to buy Munoz. Game week 5, Fernandes has got Chelsea at home, but I'm probably going to roll. Game week 6, I'm going to free hit. Game week 7, he's got Sunderland. So game week 8 might be the first time I think about selling him. And even then, I'd probably sell Verts first. So Bruno's going to be in my team personally for a while. But as always, I've not told anyone else to buy him. In fact, I said plenty of times in pre-season, running up to game week 1, don't buy Bruno Fernandes. He will frustrate you. He will frustrate you. This team is terrible. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Good to get some feedback as always. Right, I'm off. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. Good luck this weekend. Come on, Bruno Fernandes. And I will catch you again later. Adam, 5 months before I shoot off. Thank you very much for that. No song renditions. Thank you. Bye.